Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Say It Out Loud GG podcast. Today we have a special guest, but before we go into that, let's thank our sponsor, La Ciencia Amistad, an anointed news journal by Chris Collins. Thank you for sponsoring this program. And today we have Dee in the house, Danielle Lawrence, for
Hey,
those who don't
everybody.
know. Yes.
Hey,
So, Dee,
what's up?
tell, tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what do you do?
Yes. So thank you so much, Judy, for having me on your podcast. I do appreciate this space. My name is Danielle Lawrence, aka D. Also, D Law is my business name. I actually dive into emotions. And the reason why I dive into emotions is because in most cases, we don't deal with them. So for me, I took the time because I had to go through a lot of challenges in healing. I said, let me deal with emotions. Many people deal with the mindset, but I want to deal with emotions. So with that being said, I went on a journey. And when I went on that journey, I end up writing a 31-day devotional journal about finding emotional maturity through emotional awareness. Because a lot of
Mm.
times we don't sit in those emotions. So I am in school for my doctoral degree. I specialize in parent and child relationships. I've been speaking for about 3 years. I'm also a speaker. I'm an author for about a year. I also am included with an anthology that's coming out called Taking Off the Shades with Nikki Cuesta, building a leadership mindset as well. And I'm going to be also going into an anthology with you, Judy, which I am excited about.
Yeah.
So, with that also being said, those are the things that are coming up. I have some workshops, some summits, some conferences. I also have an autism awareness that's actually going to be happening on April 26th that I am excited about. With the autism awareness, a lot of things I will say, I'm actually getting more educated about autism, but I connected emotionalism to autism, to the
Mm.
families. So I connected with a Sakina Lewis, who I'm partnering with this specific awareness, autism awareness, because she has she has twins who are autistic. So we collaborated to have the emotional part of it along with the autistic part of it, so we could bring it all together naturally.
Yeah.
So that's what's
First
going
of
on.
yes, first of all, congratulations on that. I have a nephew that is
Mm,
autistic, so I
mm.
know the ends of that, and that was like that's dear to my heart. So
Wow.
when you
Yes.
definitely post that, that was like I was like, go ahead, girl, do your thing.
Yes.
So I celebrate you and your success, but you do have a full-time job. This
Yes.
your entrepreneurship and the D law, right?
Yes. Hmm.
That you're doing is something that you're doing full time, part time.
Yes.
So, talk about how do you effectively take the time, balance that time, because full time is probably a 9 to 5. So,
Hmm.
how do you balance in growing this your business, D Law, and also having a full time job?
I tell you one thing, it can be a lot, but what I'm learning now more than ever is to number one, prioritize and pace myself on how to do it. So with the 9 to 5, because it could be demanding at times, what I do, I usually get up 2 hours earlier. I get ahead of the day.
Mm.
So, and which is good because my mind is the most creative in the morning. So my job, I have to clock in about like 7:30. So I get up around between 5 and 5:30. In between that time, I do the meditations, I do my postings, I do whatever I need to do in order to get ahead of the day. And then after that, my day is over. I take a break and I exercise. I do about an hour worth of exercise a day, or at least 3 to 5 days a week, because I need to naturally get my brain still motivated. Because when you talk, you have to be in breath. You have to, so I have to get that control when talking. So I like to exercise as well. And then after exercise, I take a breather and I give myself about maybe 2 hours. And depending on what I have coming up, is going to be how determined or how much like focus I'm going to give. So if I don't have anything coming up, I might give maybe an hour, hour and a half of my day. Or matter of fact, like maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week if I have nothing coming up. But if I have something coming up, I'm a little bit more, I turn up a little bit more. So what I will do is maybe give maybe 3 hours. So I try to stop everything by 9 to 10 o'clock at night, period. There is nothing after 9, 10 o'clock at night, because I still have to remember I have a family. I also have, a fiance, which you call my wife, but right
Wifey,
now,
wifey.
right now, we in that stage. So yes, so I still have to give time. So I also have to balance that specific part as well,
Mhm.
to make sure, I'm not minusing out my relationship as well. So I'll say about 3 times a week, if I have nothing coming up, just to make sure I do personal development. And if I have to have an engagement, I might go up to 5 days, just to make sure I touch on everything I need to touch on.
Would you say that that has molded you to be more disciplined in
Absolutely.
your structure? Yeah.
Discipline, and to be honest, obedient too. Because a lot of
Mm.
times when I get the creative thoughts, it's my spirit talking to me.
That's good. Yes.
Yeah, so getting up at 5:30, like I said, my creativeness is at its peak in the morning. So
Mm.
that's when I hear God even the most, because it's quiet in the house. So me getting up 2 hours earlier or 2.5 hours earlier, having that me time and that God time, that's the discipline first. Because don't nobody really want to get up at no 5:30 in the morning. Let's just be honest with you. So
Period.
I also will let you know, on Sundays, I don't do too much. Sundays is usually my day where I really regroup. Like, I don't get up early on Sundays. I might get up at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock instead of 5:30. And I do whatever worship or whatever I have to do on that day. And then, like, after that, it's just me and it's just family time, period.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
make sure that Sunday have to be family time. And I had to get that, because when I was going so fast, I was burning myself out and I was burning my relationship out. So, because what
Hmm.
happens to you overflows into whatever else is connected to you, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's something that I had to learn in my relationship and what I'm doing.
Right.
That
Mhm.
family time is that family time and it's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself motivated through all that? I mean, it's obedience, it's discipline, right? It's structure, but how do you keep yourself motivated?
Purpose. That's my drive.
Mm,
That's my why. My why is my mother, but
mm,
my purpose is the drive. Because sometimes my why is like, all right, today is Tuesday, but the purpose and why I have to reach to people, and why, like, for me, the people are what is important. So that now is basically my gift marrying my purpose, which drives me to do what I have to do. Like, there's somebody that's going through something, or there's someone who's emotionally in need of something, and I need to continue to do this. It does not matter. I remember one time I was having a conversation with God, and I was like, because I don't really like the numbers, how people be on social media, the
mm,
numbers and all that. And one day the spirit was like, it don't matter the numbers.
mm. It
I'm
sure
going to
doesn't.
elevate you. You don't have to have the numbers for me to elevate you, Danielle,
Hmm.
because you're doing what I'm telling you to do. So, with that
Amen.
being said, that took a lot of weight off of me, but he still was like, you have to be consistent. It's the consistency for me. That's where a lot of practice in obedience is consistency, but the purpose will always continue. That's a non negotiable.
Yeah. And I would have to say, because I am witness of it, where you have a tremendous support system.
Mm,
Wifey supports you. I mean, the
yes,
way she talks about you, the way she motivates you. And that's really important when it comes to
absolutely.
entrepreneurship. That person needs to believe also in you and push you, because my husband's the opposite. I mean, he's a machine operator. He has nothing to do with what I'm entrepreneur and what I do, but
Mhm.
he's my number one fan. And you would think, like, but he's always rooting for me. So that's
Oh
really
yeah.
important.
Cheerleading. Yeah, that is, you're absolutely right with that. That
Hmm.
cheerleading. Oh yeah, she's like the like you said, the pom poms. Yeah, the cheerleader. It definitely helps when I'm down, because
Mm,
she'll put me back in perspective.
that's right. That's
Mhm,
right. Great teamwork. So,
mhm,
how do you face challenges and how do you balance them in every role? So, that 9 to 5, you have to have challenges, because I worked a 9 to 5, and I remember that there were challenges on that aspect of it,
mhm.
right? Staying motivated, staying wanting to do this because your passion is probably the D law, but
Yes.
how do you face these challenges in both aspects, that 9 to 5 and the D law?
Well, I'm be honest with you, it all goes back to purpose, Judy.
Okay.
The challenges are going to come, and what I learned about challenges is that tomorrow is still going to rise a sun and it's still going to set a sun. And with that being said, I have to continue to do what I have to do. I cannot stop. I still have to move through those detours. I still
Mm,
have to move through them. And when I get to those challenges, I'm being honest, I turn up my trust in God. I have
mm,
to, because that's where I find my peace and my relaxation. Because challenges don't stop and battles don't stop. And I mean, they just happen. And when
mm,
they happen, this is where I will say the emotional intelligence and the emotional maturity does kick in. So, what people don't understand is the more emotional maturity and intelligence that you absorb, the more spiritually you become relaxed. Because now you can understand certain things a little bit differently. Where I would get anxiety in certain areas of my life, I'm able to say, you know what, God, you got this.
mm,
Let me rest in you. And he'll give me the mindset to emotionally be able to say, well, how do as like forgiveness and understanding, he'll give me
mhm,
the ability to understand what I'm going through. I might not know the why at that time, but I will get the answer once I complete the challenge.
mm.
And I will
It's like
become
trusting the process.
Yes, and I will
Mm,
become stronger after it's said and done. And one day I was in my kitchen and he said, "This is your story. So good, bad, or ugly, this is what is needed to make who I need you to be." So that's how I get through the challenges. That specific word is this is my story. So hell or hot water, it's going to be okay because this is your story.
mm,
Mhm.
mm. Period. That's a drop the mic moment. I tell you, you're a great speaker. Like every time I see you, it's like, ooh, I'm
Thank you.
taking all that
Thank
in.
you,
You,
Judy.
ooh, you pouring into me. Thank you for that today. So, or how have you benefit from the full-time job that has helped you in your entrepreneurship, or has it, or it's not, or it's just
Oh, the
pretty
leverage.
much, huh?
I leverage it.
You
So
leverage it? Okay.
yeah, so with the 9 to 5, I leverage my 9 to 5 for my business because
Mm,
like my business just came into fruition basically last year.
mhm,
So I need money, and everybody knows those first to 5 years it could be real tight. So what
mm,
I do is I leverage what I make from my financially to still take care of what I need to take care of, not only for my personal but also for my professional, and getting a plan to come out of that, but still, and also it's like an engine roller for me to say I'm not going to be here always.
mm.
This is like it's also like a motivator. Like this is what you're doing, but there's something else that God has for you too. So I
There
also
it
use
is.
it as leverage, as like an energy boost of
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna keep doing this, but over here, this is what I'm gonna keep doing too until I come out of this one. So that's how I leverage it that way. I take the negative and make it a positive in most
That's
cases.
right. That's
Mhm.
right. And that's all you could do. And that's all you could do. So what is emotional intelligent for you? You talk about D-Law and this is your aspect. So I want you to give the audience of insight exactly how you work and how the operation
Mhm.
of, if anybody wants your services, what do that look like?
Emotional intelligence. Let me tell you first. I Emotional intelligence to me is the acknowledgement. I like dealing with more of the emotional maturity part along with I like to bring them together, basically marry them, because the emotional intelligence is us actively learning or being aware of what we're going through. But the maturity of the emotion is how we manage and navigate those emotions. Because when I was going through my process, the emotional intelligence is what I had, but the managing and the maturity is what I was basically subtracted. So what it looks like if a person came to me about emotional intelligence and looking how to navigate those places, it's going through a process of was it I may be able to customize it according to whatever their emotional need is, But the first thing I need to know is what does your trauma look like? What does your pain look like? What is it that you want to come, what are you coming here for me to now guide you? Because I really need people to understand it's what you want to get out of it. I can bring you all the information, but how are you willing to apply the emotional development that I'm going to now give to you? So, whatever pain that I'm dealing with that individual, or whatever trauma I'm dealing with that individual, I first start from there. And it's going to come from their own awareness. But I'm going to
Mm,
use self reflective questions to now ask them how to now be more thought provoking. It's almost like my journal. It's like I'm going to give you the insert. I'm going to give you a pathway, but you're going to find the destiny through me guiding you there. So you're going to get the answer. It's not my job to find the answer for the person. It's for me to guide them to the answer so they can then know they can make the change by themselves.
mm. Period. You see, drop the mic moment again. So, how can people reach your book, reach you? What do you have coming up now for
Mhm,
2025? Because I know you got a couple projects, so it's up to
mhm,
you if you want to put them out there.
mhm.
So, this
Yes.
is your chance to tell them how to contact you. We're going to put all your social media in the description. So, guys, if you want more information, look in the description. But tell us how they can get in touch with you, get a hold of your book, this journal. It's an amazing journal, 10
Thank
out of 10. I owe
you.
you that review, by the way.
Thank you so
10
much.
out of 10. Yes. And tell me, what do D-Law has for 2025?
Absolutely. So first, you can get in contact with me on IG at DLaws Code. That is DLAWSCODE. That's at DLaws Code. Also Facebook, Danielle Lawrence. Also my website, which is www.love-because.com. And my email, speak@dlawscode.com. Also, this, like I said, for April, I have the autism awareness that's coming up on the 26th. I also have a conference that's coming up in July of this year for also youth. I also will be at a school speaking, matter of fact, in 2 weeks, April 16th in Philadelphia to youth. I'm going to be speaking to them on self love, on what means the most to you. Let's get to
Mm-hmm.
that part. That with children, we have to get what is it that you believe in, and I'm not talking about necessarily God or what I mean, a higher power. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about what in this world makes you want to get up in the morning, and let's start with you. So that's what I'm gonna. That's my goal with children or youth right now is teaching them self-love so they don't go the wrong way. I also have another another engagement at another school in May as well. In May, so I have things coming up with youth. Also, like I said, there's other things coming up this year as well. I'm supposed to be going to Chicago for the anthology.
Mm-hmm.
For taking off the shades with Nikki Cuesta. Also, she's the CEO of Building a Leadership Mindset. So those are the things so far. There are things that are in the making right now for the rest of the year, but those are the things for like the first 6 months for the first half.
And I
Yeah.
celebrate you in every single one of them.
Thank you so much.
I think that your passion and God has led you to the teens because I know you work with adults, but I know that once I saw you with the teens, I'm like, yes, this is her. You could be you. It's how you
Mhm.
deliver and how that it's a whole different impact. And I think that you experienced that. And I wish you nothing but success and big things for you in this. Anything I could pour into you,
Thank you.
just let me know, and you know that I'm here unconditionally. Now, close it out with what would you or what advice would you give not only to those teens that are going to watch you because all my teens watch my podcast, but also yes, but also what do you give advice for those who are struggling to be the entrepreneur or to be themselves or this emotional right quest that
Mhm.
we have that we don't know how to navigate because these are things that people don't teach us, school doesn't teach us, and if
Mhm.
our parents are not in their maturity enough, we're
Mhm.
these kids are going to lack in that. So
Yeah.
what advice do you give them?
First, love you and be your authentic self. I remember, I think it was Kendrick Lamar that said, the first thing that a person reads besides love and fear when someone comes into a room is the authenticity. And that's what brings people in. We have to teach our children how to be real with oneself. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling with, it's okay. It's part of the process. You are still meant to be great, and you still are great, whether you reach one or you reach a mass of thousands of people, and you're more than enough. As I put in my book, embrace you, love you, and you are more than enough. Always know that you're not a question, but you are a period. You are a statement at the end that says who you are. So always learn, or always say to yourself, no matter what comes, hella hot water, that you are great and you are more than enough. So that's my thing, authenticity, be you. And that's something that I had to learn for myself and still in the process of learning at this age. Children, kids, youth, women, men, be you, because it's something that you are going through that is going to help someone else and pull them through when you didn't have the answers.
That's good. Thank you for that. That's good. And once again, to close this out, thanks our sponsor for sponsoring this program, La Ciencia Amistad, and Chris Collins from Anointed News Journal. Thank you for sponsoring this program. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Judy.